Hey everybody, this is Peter Schrager with the Fox NFL cheat sheet for week number 14. Here are the 5 things I'm thinking about this week. Number 1, can Brock Purdy actually do this thing for the 49ers? Yes. Yes, he can. Now, it's never been done. No rookie quarterback has taken over after Thanksgiving for a team and led them to a Super Bowl, but no rookie quarterback has ever had the defense and the support of his team that Brock Purdy seems to have. It seems like the entire 49ers organization is unflinched by this whole entire thing. It's not even nonplussed would be the word. Listening to the press conferences this week and after the game, it seems like everyone's not only in support of Brock Purdy, but fully confident that he can get the job done. The Niners showed that by not putting a waiver claim in for Baker Mayfield this week, by not trying to sign a Ryan Fitzpatrick or a Josh McCown or a Drew Stanton type, or not calling Cam Newton or Ben Roethlisberger and begging him to come out of retirement. It's going to be Brock Purdy's show. And here's the deal. Brock Purdy was the number 2 quarterback all summer long when Jimmy Garoppolo was not with the team. Jimmy Garoppolo gets with the team. Obviously, Brock Purdy moves to number 3. But when Trey Lance got hurt, Brock Purdy went right back up to number 2. So Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, the last player drafted, was running the scout team every single week for the 49ers during practice. You know who he was lining up against? Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, Jimmy Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, the number 1 defense in the entire NFL. That's who he was getting his reps against. Look, I'm not expecting him to come in and beat Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen. But the fact that that defense seemed to be pretty okay with Brock Purdy and those teammates seem to have pretty much a lot of confidence in Brock Purdy, that tells me they know something maybe we don't. Brock Purdy, not all in, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Number 2, Derrick Henry, we need you. Derrick Henry, we need you, because it has been a brutal few weeks in Tennessee. Yes, they have lost 2 games in embarrassing fashion to the Bengals at home with no Jamar Chase and no Joe Mixon, to the Eagles last week in what was a blowout. But also we saw the GM get fired on Tuesday afternoon, and a lot of speculation about what happened there. It's just all negative coming out of Tennessee since their Thursday night victory against the Packers. It's time to get things right. Fortunately enough, I don't know if you know this, but Derrick Henry has an ownership share in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, no, he doesn't really have an ownership share, but this guy goes off every single time he plays the Jaguars. The rushing yards, it's the most ever by a player against the Jaguars over a career. The rushing touchdowns, it's the same thing. Derrick Henry has had huge games against the Jaguars. He's had more than 150 yards multiple times against the Jags. He takes guys, he stiff arms them all over the place. This is his team. When he sees that Jaguars logo, he plays his best. And gosh, do the Titans need him now. No, the division race is not any closer than it was when they started losing games. But when you're talking about going into the playoffs with loss after loss and with all these negative headlines, you need to get a win. Derrick Henry is going to be the guy. And if Derrick Henry can't get them there, I don't know who will. Number 3, the 2020 quarterback class is pretty darn good. You know, we went nuts over the 2018 quarterback class, which included guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield and Josh Rosen. Like that got a lot of hype. The 2021 might be the best in the last 10 years. Now, who was in the 2020 class? We got Joe Burrow, who's in the MVP conversation. You got Tua Tagovailoa, who's in the MVP conversation. You've got Justin Herbert, who's outstanding every single time he takes the field. His team just hasn't been winning as many games as the others. And then you got Jalen Hurts in the second round. Those 4 quarterbacks are in the top 10 for passing yard leaders. And that's only happened with 2 other former draft classes in the NFL history. The 83 class had 5 guys, and the 2004 class, which is a famous one with Roethlisberger and Eli and, of course, Phillip Rivers and Matt Schaub, they did it too. But these 4 are all in the MVP conversation. Maybe Herbert not as much. But I got to say, COVID draft, we remember it because of Roger Goodell calling the picks from his basement or from Bill Belichick's dog or for Cliff Kingsbury's house. But I think it'll go down as the draft that all the quarterbacks were taken. 1, 5, 6, and then a second rounder. You've got 4 legitimate starting quarterbacks. 2 of them, Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, will be facing off on Sunday night. Should we be respecting the Vikings a little bit more? I don't know. The Vikings are 10-2 and they're underdogs against Detroit this week, who's 5-7. That's the biggest win differential between two teams for one team to be the underdog and the other one be the favorite. And everyone's calling bloody murder and they're saying it's ridiculous. Slow down. The Vikings have won 9 different one-score games, and everyone says, well, that's a good thing, right? They have let so many opponents back into games, and their point differential overall is just plus 10. So you've got 10 wins, but their point differential over the course of those games is just plus 10, and their 2 losses to Philly and to Dallas were horrendous. They got blown out in both. I look at this game as actually an important one. I'd like to see the Vikings prove something to everybody and go into Detroit and smack them around and win big. Detroit's favored for a reason. They're red hot, and I don't think Vegas or many people around the league are really as respectful of those 10 wins as maybe they should be. We'll see. What's Minnesota got? A lot of Rodney Dangerfield going around this week, and if you're too young to know that reference, he used to say, I get no respect at all. Number 5. All right, the stats don't help Brock Purdy. I know quarterback wins is not necessarily a stat, but Tom Brady has played 6 players making their NFL debuts. 6. Those 6 quarterbacks, they're 0-6 all time. Brock Purdy changed the narrative. Go beat Brady at home this weekend. And that's my Week 14 cheat sheet. For all of my stuff, go to the Fox Sports digital app. Check it on Twitter at Fox Sports. And I'd like to say this. Watch a little soccer. The World Cup is heating up right now. My team's Portugal. I like the narrative. I'm okay if Ronaldo's coming off the bench or doesn't play at all. I like Portugal. They're playing this weekend. So is England versus France. Soccer, football. We work as one here at Fox Sports. Let's go.